things which are happening in the market, how it is affecting the hiring. Second thing which we'll do is see what is the hiring pattern in the market and how you can prepare for it. Last but not the least, we will also talk about uh, how we can help you in getting to your next job. Okay. I can see a few of you have already joined. So, team, why don't we go ahead and give chat access to folks? So, Chaitanya, Deepika, Sharon, Suyash, all of you, just if you can write in the chat, uh, what is your background? Okay. And what are you looking from today's session? Okay. So that's what I want to know. So that in between, I might skip few slides or put more emphasis on those slides based on the questions which you have. Okay. So team, can we go ahead and give the chat access to everyone? Cool. I will wait for you guys to respond. In the meanwhile, let me get started. Yeah. So today we'll be talking about what is the hiring playbook for entry-level engineers in 2025. Okay. If you wish to know more about interview Kickstart, you can read about us in TechCrunch, Forbes, Bloomberg, GSV, Times Magazine, and so on. We have been one of the leading tech upskilling platform in the US. We have been there from the last uh, 10 years. We have trained more than 27,000 engineers in various fields, and especially in the field of AI ML. And we have been working with a lot of hiring managers. So on our platform, there are around 700 plus active hiring managers from MAANG companies or FANG companies. The nomenclature changes, but these are the two nomenclature which are uh, pretty much dominant across the world. Apart from this, thousands of our alumni, they are working in top tier tech companies, be it Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Uber, Netflix, and many more top tier companies. You will find our alumni. I see that few of you have started writing about your details in the chat. So first one is Chaitanya. Chaitanya is saying he is a recent graduate of economics plus CS from BITS Pilani. He is looking to break into technical AI, product management, data roles, and he is looking to how to crack similar roles. Okay. Then there is Sharon. Sharon is currently working as a QA automation engineering. Okay, have 2 years of experience, and she's looking to switch to tier one companies to get a higher salary jump, and also looking forward towards transitioning from QA to a front end engineer. So Chaitanya and Sharon, I have already noted your questions and I'll try to cover them during the webinar. Then Deepika is a recent MCA graduate and she is working in the cybersecurity role. Hi, Deepika, welcome to the webinar. And what I'll suggest is if any of you guys have any questions during the slides, please go ahead and put it in the chat box. I'll take it from there. And also at the end of the sessions, we will take few applications for resume-based counseling. Okay. What is resume-based counseling? We take your resume, we talk to we connect you with our career experts, and they tell you what is possible in terms of transition or switching careers and how you should prepare for it. Now, first, let me talk about who is this session for. And I'll be glad if you guys go ahead and add in the chat while I'm going through the slides that this is something which you are able to relate to, right? Because what I have done in these slides, I have talked to a few of people from our learner base who are going through similar problems, who have taken the course, and what inspired them to take the course, what were their problems. I'm just trying to correlate this with your experience. Okay. Now, this session is for early engineers or engineers with 2 to 5 years of experience. Okay. Back-end engineer, front-end engineers, full stack engineers, data scientists, and so on. Okay. If you are a business analyst, data analyst, you want to transition into an engineering role, again, this is a session for you. And if you have just completed your education and you are looking to secure your first job, then this session will also be of value to you. Now, before that, let me go ahead and share a poll with all of you. What I want you is that select the option which is closest to you based on your experience. So team, can we go ahead and share that poll with all of you?
Hi, Utkarsh. Sorry, give us a moment. We are just checking. I think there is some technical issue.
Okay. Sure. In the meanwhile, we have conducted this poll for, okay, the poll is live. This is a very simple poll. What is stopping you from getting into your dream job role? Okay. One is not able to clear specific rounds like DSA, system design, and so on. Second is not getting enough shortlist. Third is lack of hands-on AI ML experience for your domain, which is being asked in the interviews. And last is not sure where to start. Okay. So I can see 25% of you have participated. Okay, 50% of you have participated. I'll suggest rest 50% to go ahead, participate in the poll. And I'll show you the previous results which I have collated from previous webinar. And that will help you to correlate with the problem. Okay. So a lot of you are here because you have tried giving interviews and you were not able to clear those interviews, or you just have a fear of DSA interviews. Okay. So that is one thing. Now, what happens? Why do you have this fear and how you can overcome that? First is structured interview preparation. Okay. How you can do structured interview preparation? There should be someone who knows what is going to be asked in the interview. You are not running blind. And then how to solve those problems. What are your weaknesses? And this is something which is a cycle for structured interview preparation. Okay. Second is not getting a shortlist. Okay. Now, for getting a shortlist, what we look for is some kind of resume spike or very relevant experience. Okay. Now, very relevant experience happens when you have 15 years of experience. Say, I'm a recruiter who is hiring machine learning engineer. I will look for 5 years of core machine learning engineers, maybe someone who has worked on deep learning and so on. For you, you should have some kind of spike. Now, there are 2, 3 ways to get your spike. Okay. One is your academic background, right? That is one way. Second is you can show that spike with projects. Okay. And that's where we have included this in our curriculum, that we help you create those projects which are in demand in the industry so that you are getting a shortlist. Now, this is a recent phenomena, and I'll be talking about this in detail. Nowadays, a lot of companies are hiring engineers who can do vibe coding, who can work on AI agents or have some experience uh, automating tasks using agents and so on. So I'll give you recent example at our company itself. We were hiring a front-end engineer. Okay, I saw the job posting, and this is actually from last week. There is AI requirement when it comes to hiring front-end engineer in interview Kickstart itself. And that shows how fast the world has changed and how AI is a skill which is now ubiquitous. Last is uncertainty about how to start. And today, most of you have resonated with this particular thing, right? How to start, where to start, what kind of roles to target. Because you are in the early stages of your career and you have limited knowledge about the industry. You might be having limited knowledge about what you want to do in your life. When I started my career, even I faced this problem because there is a lot of noise, there is a lot of glitter around certain roles, and your parents, maybe your friends in college, your professors, right, or your friends in your current job are talking about it. And you are thinking, because everyone is talking about this particular thing, I should also do this. I started my career as a consultant. Okay. And why I became a consultant? Because everyone was talking about it. It was the most fancy job, flying in business class, staying in five-star hotels, getting the awesome salary. And I thought this is what I want to do with my life. Later on, I realized no, I'm not cut out for this job. So this is possible when you get proper mentors. And we have in our system, as I already said, there are 700 plus hiring managers, people who take interviews for professionals like you. So there is enough mentoring or opportunity also available, and I'll tell you later how you can uh, avail those mentorship. Now, more or less, everyone wants to work in the tier one companies. Okay, when it comes to tech, it is the tier one product companies. Okay, and there are three major reasons for which people want to work in the tier one companies. One is fantastic perks, right? Entry level salary, this is the median salary, which is around 25, 30 lakhs. People are getting way more than that. You must have seen uh, in your circle as well. So, fantastic perk, that is one thing. Second thing is career agility, right? So, if I go back to our chats, okay, and the first question which Chaitanya asked was, I'm looking to break into AI product management, right? He is from a CSC background. So Chaitanya, possible, right? But there will be certain caveats when it comes to transitioning to product management roles. Okay, there are two kind of project management roles, which one is growth side, another is uh, tech side. Getting into tech product management directly from college is difficult. This is what we have seen, but we'll connect you to the career experts and take more guidance for you. But if you go to say a Microsoft, right, or if you say go to a company like Meta, or for that top tech startups like Swiggy, Flipkart, and so on, what happens is these companies give you the career agility that in the first few years, maybe you are working as a software developer, and after that, you become a business person, then you become a PM, and so on. I was talking to a director of engineering at Microsoft. He was there for 15 years. He started his career as a developer, moved to sales side after that. Okay, worked on the sales side for 5 years, came back, worked on the product side for 5 years, and then moved back to engineering. That kind of career agility is not possible in any other company. Also, you will be able to work as a team leader or as a IC, right? So this question will not come to your mind right now, but say you after you have 10, 15 years of experience, not everyone wants to lead team, right? Even if you give me a choice, I would love to do data analysis sitting on my desk rather than managing a bigger team, because I love doing that kind of a job, right? So you get that kind of flexibility as well. Then resume reputation, I don't need to talk about it. These are brand names. Once they are there on your resume, people will take you seriously. Okay. Now let me talk about where people are stuck, right? Currently, in today's India, we are stuck in that 5 LPA trap when it comes to entry level engineers. Okay. 65% of engineers in service companies, they earn less than 8 LPA in the first 3 years. Now, in service companies, if you stay there for 3 years, your salary will be 4 to 7 LPA. And actually, the numbers here for Google, Amazon, Microsoft, if I just take these companies, 25 LPA is on the lower side. You will earn more than that because we are talking about other product companies as well. So I have taken this range. Now, this is the story from one of our learner. What he was saying that after 3 years of hard work, I'm still at 5 LPA. I've joined Tech Mahindra as an automation test engineer. My college friends who joined product companies, they started at 15 LPA and they are earning much more than that. Okay. And now I feel stuck. I'm not able to transition from my current service company job to a new job. This is the second example. And if you go out and start applying, this is what happens for a lot of folks. So this is the story from one of our learners, and she said that she has a very strong technical expertise. And earlier she rejected a 11 LPA offer because she felt that she can earn more. Now, where she was stuck, which is like surprising as well, that her resume was not getting shortlisted. Okay. So her exact words, from hope to rejection in 6 seconds. Because you are not able to break that ATS filter, you are just stuck in that cycle. Let me move to the next slide. What are these companies looking for and where most of you are currently? Okay. Basic coding, right? You might be knowing C++, Python, Java, JavaScript. Currently, you are doing simple CRUD operations. You have theoretical DSA knowledge from college. You have some basics knowledge about framework, and maybe most of the people who come to our platform are coming from service backgrounds. So that's why I've written service company frameworks. Now, what FANG or MANG companies are looking for? They're looking for the ability how you can optimize complex algorithm. Why you have to optimize a complex algorithm? Because you are creating things for millions of users. Okay, it's not few thousand users who are going to use it. Now they are also looking for AI ML implementation skills. I've talking to one of my neighbor. He is a data engineering lead at Amazon, and he was telling me like 2 weeks back that I got a memo from our head office saying any data engineer whom you are hiring, you will ask AI related questions. So this is where we are reaching. Okay. What is the critical gap when you are applying for these companies? You should be able to solve those medium level lead code problem. You should be able to answer scalable system design uh, questions. You should have some working knowledge on AI ML, and you should not be freezing under those interview pressure. And I'll be talking about all of these, including the portfolio, how we can help you in overcoming these critical gaps. Okay. Now, what is the real cost of the gap? See, I have written three, four things. For me, two things are important here. One is lost income. Every year you are not able to transition, and it could be pressure in your current job role. It could be it could be just procrastination. or it could be other things. Every year you are losing some 15-20 LPA. Okay, that is first thing. Second thing is, if you're not moving to these top tier companies, you are missing an option to missing a chance to be part of the AI revolution. The work which is happening in the field of AI today's day and age is cutting edge. And if you become the first mover there, not only you will earn great bucks, you will also be part of those engineers who were there at the starting of the revolution. And believe me, when you are there, when a revolution is happening, the feeling is totally different. There is something which we call job satisfaction. You can get that kind of a feeling there, because every day there is something exciting happening. Every day obviously is exaggeration, but every 2 3 weeks something new is coming up, which is making the whole world more excited about the abilities of these models, agentic systems, and so on. Now let me move to the next slide. Now, what I'll do is I'll talk about interview Kickstart. Okay, will not take a lot of time. I'll just give a brief introduction in 2 3 minutes, and then we'll move to the main topic, which is how the hiring landscape is today. I've already talked about what is interview Kickstart. People who have joined late, I'll just repeat again. Interview Kickstart as a company started 10 years back in Silicon Valley. Okay. And we have trained 25,000. Actually, this number is 27,000 now. People in tech. Okay. Now for India, we are a couple of years old. The average package which our learners have gotten in India is 63 LPA. Highest was 2 CR. Now, obviously, for entry level engineers, the number is 25 30 LPA. Uh, Given we work with high work experience professional also, the average is on the higher side. Now, one trivia which I think you will also be interested in. We have been selected as top 100 edtech companies across the world by the Time magazine. Okay. And we have been featuring in top 100, top 150 transformational edtech companies from the last 3 years, actually. Okay. Across various surveys. Now, what is the mantra for us for success? All our training will be done by people who are coming from these companies and many more other companies. Okay. And these are the people who are working in their day job as a AI ML practitioner, as a engineering leaders, and so on. These are the people who will come and take your classes. What happens? Why? What is the advantage of learning with these folks? Two advantages. All the AI innovation is happening in these companies, not in universities. Second is these people are very close to hiring, right? So whatever they are teaching will be more focused on hiring rather than theory. Theory you have done in your degrees, so we don't need to teach any kind of theory to you anymore. Okay. uh, Now these are the people who are designing and delivering these courses. They are recruiters from MAANG Plus companies. They are AI ML practitioners from MAANG Plus companies. And one thing is common across all these folks is their passion for teaching, their passion for mentoring. So the average class rating which we maintain is 4.7 out of 5 for all our courses. Now, why I am saying this? Because people get a misconception that are these people who are working in their day job as an engineer or as a product leader will be good at teaching. So we make sure that we give you the best mentors and teachers possible to upskill in your career. Now, these are the people who took our courses, transitioned to tier one companies. So I'll quickly skim through those slides. Let me talk about what is happening in the hiring space. Okay. So you must be remembering in 21, 22, there was a candidates market. Okay. There is a chance a few of you would have been in college. Okay. But that time it was candidates market and everyone was hiring. Okay. And people were asking ridiculous number and companies were willing to pay it. What happens when we give hire more than what is required, we give absurd salaries, there will be a down cycle. So after that up cycle, after that boom, down cycle came where all these companies started firing at any cost. Okay, almost everyone was firing, hardly anyone was hiring, and I personally know a lot of people who were laid off in this cycle. After that, things have settled down. In 2023, 2024, the market was recovering from the shock, and 2025 is the year when we see there has been a significant uptick in hire. So these are the jobs which you guys can try for. The number of roles from top five companies, MAANG companies in India, it is on the rise. If you see last 5 years, it has grown at a rate of 15%. These companies are hiring more in India. And given what has happened with H1B visa, there is a very high likely chance that they will hire more folks here. Okay. And if you see the figure for hiring for service companies in the last 5 years, there has been a downtrend. Uh, Almost there has been a negligible growth over a period of 5 years. Now, I want to prove this point that the hiring is going up with few of the charts here. If you see here, these are the job openings which were posted on LinkedIn quarter on quarter. Okay. Now, these numbers, there is 2.5x increase, 4.7x increase, and so on. Similarly, for other job roles, EMs, TPMs, there was again a 2x growth. Full stack role, again a 2.5x growth. Okay. That means hiring cycle is there. But at the same time, a lot of folks come to us and say they are not getting shortlisted. So, and if you see this, this was a viral report which came out, I think, 6 months back, that for a walk-in interview in Pune, over 3,000 engineers lined up. So on one hand, we see there is a job, there is a lot of job in the market. The number of open roles have doubled, have become 2.5x, have become 5x. But at the same time, there are people who are complaining about not having enough jobs in the market. Now, this is the supply demand conundrum which is happening. Now, how the hiring is happening in India? If you see, and this is more or less the case around the world, that there is a demand supply mismatch. All the open roles which are coming up, their companies are asking for more and more AI knowledge. Okay. If you see the bottom most on the right side, the report, India has just one GenAI engineer, whereas for every 10 open roles. So there is a increase in the job roles. At the same time, people who can fulfill, who can opt for those job roles, there is a shrinkage in that number. Now, what happens when there is a supply demand mismatch? Okay. Uh, there are more open job roles, and then there is a small number of people who can go and take those jobs. Obviously, your salaries are going to increase. So if you see here, this is one of the report which came out on 4th of September, where the survey from various companies came out, and what was common was that AI skills are in high demand and employers are willing to pay a premium for them. So employers are paying you more if you know AI. Okay, and that is true even for entry level roles. One figure which I want to quote here is you must be knowing the entry level service companies' salaries, right? It is 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, something like that. But when these companies are hiring a entry level GenAI engineer, they are paying 3 to 4 times more salary in these service companies itself. They are giving a package of 15, 18 lakhs. So this is how the market is shifting. And I'll try to prove this point with more uh, data, with more studies which we have conducted before we move to how you can prepare for such a job market. Now, why there is so much demand for AI? Because companies are pouring money in AI like crazy. You must have heard the Stargate project for OpenAI, where the investment itself is to the tune of $500 billion. Okay. And we are expecting that the investment will reach $1 trillion very soon. I'll not go into details of where the investment is happening because I don't think this is relevant for today's session. Now, when we heard all this, we started looking at how the job market is changing. What kind of skills which companies are asking when they are hiring for these engineers. Okay. So we took 5,000 plus job roles from LinkedIn for various domains, say machine learning engineer, data engineer, software engineer. And this survey was done 6 months back. We are refreshing this survey as we speak about this. And we started looking for requirement of AI ML skills across these job roles. We saw that the numbers are huge. Data engineers, 51% of the job roles for data engineers, AI skills are required. For software engineers, 37%. Okay, and this number is on the rise as we speak because there is more investment coming in across industries, and everyone wants an engineer who can work on uh, AI ML AI ML tools. Okay. Now this is which will be more relevant for you guys. So I have included this. Now, how people are hiring for software engineers. Okay. What we are doing is they are asking for is the ability to build AI agents, multi-agentic system, the ability to build multimodal AI application, how you can deploy and scale AI models. And there are certain skills like RAG, LangChain, Llama Index. These are the skills which are in demand for across these job roles. Okay, so just to summarize, 2025 we see that job roles or open job roles are increasing. There has been a significant increase from 2023 to 2025. Uh, More or less the requirements for these job roles have remained same, but there is one important factor based on which the hiring is happening, which is AI. People are asking AI related questions in the job interviews, in the JDs. They have become a part of the requirements before they screen your profile and select you. Okay. So this is where we are sitting in today's environment. If you want to crack tier one companies, you should have a lot of AI knowledge, a portfolio of AI projects, and ability to answer AI related question in the interviews. But that doesn't mean that DSA is not important anymore. Okay, or the system design interviews are not important anymore. So I'll walk you through how the hiring is happening in these MAANG companies uh, apart from AI related knowledge. So this is how it looks like. You get a recruiter call, then there is a technical phone screening. You do a 45-minute coding interview round. Then there will be again on-site interview round in person. Okay. Mostly for entry level engineers, they ask DSA, but in certain companies, they are also asking for system design interviews. And we help our learners with system design interviews. But in most of the open job roles which are out there for 0 to 5 years of experience, companies are looking for DSA as the primary mode of hiring candidates. Then there will be behavioral interviews, okay, and then you reach to the job offer part. Okay, now how these companies are hiring? There is obviously that elevated technical bar. There is high expectations for DSA interviews. Then there is also high expectation when it comes to system design interviews. And one more thing which is getting added to these interviews is AI knowledge. Okay. So this is how the hiring is happening in the last 3 to 5 years in MAANG. Now, how you will be evaluated during a coding interview? So obviously, your code should be able to pass those normal cases as well as edge cases or corner cases. At the same time, your communication become very important. You should be able to think out loud about the problem, ask clarifying questions. It should not be in your interview should not be in such a way that the moment the other person has given you a problem, you put your head down and start solving it. That is not going to give you the brownie points which the interviewer is looking for. They are looking for your problem solving skills. They are looking for your ability to predict what will be the edge cases. Okay. And we will be looking at this in one of the slides. And then technical competency. You have created the algorithm to solve a problem, but they want you to transfer that to a code as well. Now, when it comes to 0 to 2 years of experience, 80% of your selection will be on algorithms and coding, and rest will be behavioral interviews. When it comes to mid-level engineers, 50% will be coding, then there will be system design and behavioral interviews. So this is something which we always add to our slide, that DSA is something which is gatekeeper to your dream job. And in today's age, that becomes problem solving skills become very important. A lot of you, almost all of you, I think, will be using some kind of Copilot, Chat GPT while you are coding, right? So now more or less everyone can code. How will you distinguish yourself from other person? It is your problem solving abilities, how you break down the problems in smaller chunks, think out loud, ask relevant question, and that is the way you show to the uh, interviewer that you have very good problem solving skills. Now you have to master patterns and not problems. How we do this? Let me talk about our philosophy in this. Okay. So we have something proprietary called power patterns, which we have developed for DSA. Now, if you work with interview Kickstart, instead of making you solve 500 DSA problem, we help you to identify what is the pattern behind the problem, how to identify the pattern, how to break the problem in smaller chunks and solve it in front of the interviewer. Now, how can you say that I will, whatever I'm doing right now, I'll be able to do in front of interviewer? So for that, we do mock interviews. The same people who hire you become your mock interviewer, create the same interview environment, and ask you to solve the problems which will be asked in the real interviews. Now, once the interview is over, right, the hiring manager is going to give you feedback. What you did well, what are your weaknesses? Now, the biggest issue which happens during self preparation versus working with a mentor who is taking your mock is that if you try mastering these things on your own, okay, you will never get the feedback because HR is not going to tell you where you were not able to solve the problem and interviewer rejected you. But when there is a mock interview which is happening, they will give you written feedback, verbal feedback, identify your anti patterns, and even you can book this a session with the same person and see whether you have improved or not. That is not problem possible if you are just trying to solve this on your own. And practice is the key. There is no shortcut to it. So I already talked about how you will recognize your weaknesses by giving mock interviews. Second thing is you will learn interview patterns with us. Then there will be enough practice through mock interviews which will be giving you, and then you apply those feedbacks and see if those feedbacks are working for you or not. Now this is one problem uh, which is related to array of strings where you have to group the anagrams together. What is about thinking out loud? You ask clarifying questions, right? Does the output need to be in any particular order? Is there a target algorithmic complexity? Are there memory constraint? Then you start with a simple solution and then make improvements. So the main thing which you are trying to do is while giving these interviews is thinking out loud and trying to make the interviewer the co-creator of the solution. Okay. And this might be sounding complex, but we will provide you enough uh, material to practice so that you can do this in your sleep as well. So there will be enough hand holding which we'll be doing with you so that you are able to solve these problems when it comes to interview day. Now, let me go deeper into AI disruption in tech hiring, right? What is happening with respect to AI? We already saw a few resume where people are asking to having uh, AI knowledge when it comes to uh, software engineering roles, right? And that is same with data engineering, data scientist role, and so on. Even QA engineers, we see the same pattern. Now, how AI is impacting your role? Okay. Now, AI is moving very fast. You were uh, a couple of years back, actually, even couple of months back, you were using LLMs as a coding assistant. Now, from there, we have moved to a multi-agent system where we can build intelligent systems that act on our behalf. They do coding on our behalf. We can do AI, we can create and our engineers are now expected to architect AI native applications, orchestrate autonomous agents, and design systems. So the world has moved very fast in the last 6 months to 1 year. And very soon, all of us who are doing coding in their day to day job will see agents doing the coding, right? And tech professionals' job will be more related to troubleshooting those agents, optimizing those agents, and so on. So, what are the opportunities you have? You have opportunities for AI first engineering roles. Okay, R&D teams across FANG Plus and so on. Immediate application is building production grade AI driven application, which I'll be talking about later. But this is what I'm talking about. 3 years back, we were doing all the coding on our own. Then we moved to LLM based coding. Then we started talking about vibe coding and all other lingos which became popular. And today we are in the world of a multi-agent system which can generate end-to-end code with much better accuracy. And you don't even need to prompt that much the way you are prompting today, right? So the requirement from a tech professionals that is changing very fast. So what is the career opportunity? There is a growth huge growth in roles which require AI skills. We already saw that in the previous slides. Then there is first mover advantage. And if you are able to capture that first mover advantage, you will be able to see outsized returns, right? Uh, Now, not only this, having that first mover advantage will help you get a lot of salary. It will future proof your career. And I'll give you a very uh, out of the place example, but this is very interesting and I heard it from somewhere. So these are not my original thoughts, but this is very interesting. Remember that time there was electricity was discovered. Before that, there was a job which was popular in Europe. It was something called as lamp lighters, right? People who will go up the poles where those lights are there because there is no electricity, and their job was just to start those lamps, upkeep those lamps, and extinguish them in the morning. Electricity happened, and those jobs vanished just like that. Okay. We can't even think about that such a job existed. So if you become part of the wave, this is how you future proof your career, right? So imagine the time when electricity was discovered, all those people who started working on electricity, their job was safe. They made a lot of money, their job was safe, new industries were formed, and so on. So we are living in that day and age even today. Okay, now let me move to few of the AI questions which are being asked, and you will get to know more of these questions when you will be doing the course. There will be questions on memory architecture. There will be questions on front end versus back end communication for these agents. Then how do you avoid circular dependencies when it comes to two agents communicating with each other? And if you have not worked on agents so far, then you will find it very interesting. I have created 3 agents so far. Okay. And I I was very happy with my experience because when I saw, that can automate so many things using agents, and I don't have to be dependent on other folks. That was the eureka moment for me. Now, how the hiring managers value this, right? We talked about DSA and how hiring managers are going to ask you question. We talked about agentic AI, what kind of questions they will be asking. But this insight is more about what hiring managers see when you have a portfolio of generative AI projects. Okay, so these are few of the quotes from the hiring managers in our ecosystem. So the applied scientist at Amazon, he said Gen AI projects are essential for technical screening, especially for candidates without prior ML job experience. Then the principal MLE at Disney, AI projects show problem framing, creativity, business relevance, with candidates able to articulate both the technical and non-technical stakeholders impact to both of them. Okay, so this gives you the shortlist by building agents, not by doing certificates, not by doing degrees, because currently when it comes to certificates and degrees, hands-on projects, hands-on building is not included. So what hiring manager loves is you create those AI projects, put them into a production. Okay. They want that learning cycle. And at the same time, they are also looking for you to answer questions based on those particular skills. I see Rajesh has raised his hand. So, Rajesh, I have given you the permission to unmute yourself and ask your question, and then we'll move to the last section, which is about IK's offering. Rajesh, if you are speaking, I'm not able to hear you. Okay, looks like there is. some issue. Rajesh, will come back to you. This is the last section. We'll finish this and we'll take your questions post that. Now, what is IK's offering? Okay, so for people who have 0 to 4, 0 to 5 years of experience, we will be talking about data structures and algorithms. There will be live classes for 10 weeks where you will be working with the hiring managers to solve all the data structures, algorithms problem in the class. Post that, we will give you exercises to complete. Okay. You will be competing against your own batchmates and you will see where you stand with respect to DSA knowledge. Once you do all of this, you can go and test this knowledge in mock interviews. Apart from this, there is technical coaching available. What is technical coaching? Technical coaching is unlimited doubt resolution, which we will provide to you. So you went through the live class on Sunday, which is 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then you're solving your questions. You're not able to solve it. You go ahead, book a technical session with one of the instructor for 1 hour and go and see what doubts you have and revise your concepts. So in these 10 weeks and even after this, when these classes are complete, you can book these technical coaching sessions as many times as possible until and unless you get the concept. Okay. So what we are doing from our side is giving you enough opportunity to bug us so that you learn this concept and are able to do very well in mock interviews before you give your real interviews. After that, there will be a generative AI and agentic AI bootcamp. This will be a 12-week bootcamp. In the first week, there will be live workshops along with the instructor. Okay. And I can tell you because I have done these classes, with the instructor, you will create a agentic system in the class itself. So you will be first given foundation material, you go through the foundation material and you do hands-on along with the instructor. Okay. In those 4 weeks, you will do a MVP, you will then add agentic AI capabilities to your model, you will do orchestration, then I will deploy that bot into production. Once that is done in those 4 weeks, after that, we have 3 industry specific projects. Okay. You will choose one for your specialization. We'll provide you one-on-one mentoring with our mentors plus few workshops and you complete your multi-agent system, which will be much more complex in rest 8 weeks. Okay. Now these 2 projects will help you get the shortlisting because we would assist you in uploading this to your GitHub. Okay. And we will also help you in this period to understand all the concepts around agentic AI. So it's not theory, right? I can teach you theory and you will forget after a couple of weeks or maybe after a couple of months. Here you will just create, like this is totally hands-on where you will understand whether it's LangChain concept, whether it's rack concept or anything else while working in the class, right? So you will be using all of these concepts in creating something from scratch. Last is career coaching. So remember we talked about how people are not able to beat the ATS system. Here what we do is first we take classes on how you prepare for behavioral interviews, how you create resume, how you create your LinkedIn profile. Then we provide you a career coach. Okay. And these are the people who are HR manager in their day job or they are career coaches, career mentors professionally. They go through your LinkedIn, they go through your resume and say these are the improvements which you can do on your LinkedIn, which you can do on your resume, so that you are able to beat that ATS system and get shortlisted. Apart from this, you can create more than one copy of your resume. You want to apply for 2, 3 different roles, they will help you to create 2, 3, and even 20 different versions of your resume. How that is possible? Because career coaching is also unlimited. During the classes, the period which 10 plus 12 plus 3 weeks plus 6 months of support period, you come talk to these folks as much as possible. They will even align your profile with respect to your application strategy. They will tell you which companies to apply for based on your past experience, which kind of role you should apply for. So you don't need to apply to 100 companies. You apply to 20 companies, you get a shortlist, get a job using that itself. Now this completes your interview prep, DSA plus AI skill. What else we will give? We will give you 10 mock interviews with hiring managers. Okay. Now I was talking about mentoring, right? Normally we have seen that people don't need 4 to 5 mock interviews before they get what is wrong in their preparation, what is the weakness, and they figure it out. And these mock interviews, they work like a charm, because there was a learner with us. His name was Sanjog. He failed, I think, 8 or 9 tier 1 companies interviews. Okay. And he took our courses. Now, his problem was not getting a shortlist. That was not his problem. He was getting stuck at one particular round. He did 3 mocks or 4